Hi there and welcome to Red Swede's Corner. Once again I'm out. We just passed 24 and we reached 2025, and today I'm going to do what many consider to be Sweden's national dish, meatballs and mash, so tag along. Welcome to a slightly chilly Gothenburg. We had -5 degrees this morning, but I started to pack. And we actually got some snow, not much, a tiny layer of powder, but it makes a transformation very, very much. So yesterday it was grey, damp, dreary and quite miserable, and today it's sun is up, it's blue sky, and the sky is clear and a bit softer sound around. So all around, quite much better. Well, I was talking about Swedish national dish. Sweden don't really have an official national dish, but many Swedes, I'd say most of them, and quite a few foreigners are in agreement that meatballs with mash and lingonberries is probably the closest thing. So that's what we're doing today. And my trusty old Trangia, I think, will be up to the task. So let's set things up today. And the pan goes there. Let's see if this is a place that can... I think that can be good. It's at least visible on camera. That's something. Coffee later. I'll need a pot pretty quickly. And let's dig into the bag of tricks and start with the first business. Got a lot of stuff, but some I got here. This is a big cooktop, and this will double as my preparation bowl today. A little bit there, a little bit there for now. And you, and now you're dry and good looking. So to make the dough, I guess, for meatballs, I'm going to do this the way I was taught as a child. When it comes to meatballs, there is no real official recipe. No recipe is wrong, but everyone is in agreement that your mother's or probably your grandmother's is the best. So this is basically that one. So breadcrumbs, about 2 tablespoons. Since this is modified for out of kitchen, I don't have milk, so I will use powder milk. About a tablespoon, and then water, about 3/4 of a deciliter, and 3/4 approximately. And I'll whisk this up and I'll let it sit. So the breadcrumbs and the milk will swell together. And while that's doing its thing, I'm going to cook the potatoes for the mash. So let's start out there. Later. It's always easier when you have loads of space to move around, but not all surfaces are equal. So let's peel these off. Many times I don't bother with peeling potatoes, but for mash, well, that's one time when I actually take them off. Not strictly necessary, but I like it better that way. And I reckon that 3 potatoes will be plenty for me. So, and since it's cold, I think we better start with getting the burner going. The earlier the better, because when it's negative degrees out, it can take some time to get the flame going in earnest. And I'm gonna boil potatoes and I'm gonna fry meatballs, so I reckon that a full one will be good enough. And then some for the coffee. And you see this tiny ring here? When it's cold, a few drops of spirit on the outside warms up the burner much quicker. And that makes the cooking process much easier. Oh, that's a tide lighter. But I do think we have a flame going. So, some heat on that one. And let's cut the potatoes down. Quarts or possibly even smaller. I think I'll cut them in 8ths. So that the boiling goes quicker. Saves time and fuel. So, and just enough water to barely cover the potatoes. And let's put a lid on it. Well, so Much of the preparations are going. I see some lumps of the milk here, so let's give this another stir. So, next up, we want to finely chop some onions. Yellow onions is the most common in Sweden. White onions works well. But today I'm going to use shallot, simply because it has a nice size for today's recipe, so I don't have to butcher half an onion. Not that I wouldn't use the other half pretty soon, but anyways, let's see. I'm certain I brought the trash can. Yes, trash bag of course, not a can. Let's get rid of this stuff right from the get-go. Makes it so much easier. It keeps the camp spot tidy. Like so. And since I want to dice this as small as possible, this is not a job for a giant bushcraft knife. This folder, I think it's perfect for the job. The chef's knife would have of course been better, but I tend not to bring that to the outdoors. And I've forgotten something. Sloppy. I mean, boiling potatoes without salt. And don't be stingy with it. Well, we are going. Done with you. The finer you can dice your onion, the easier it will be to have the meatballs to stick together. So that's basically it. The breadcrumbs hasn't swollen enough yet, so we're in a bit of waiting. Let's see, it's boiling good here, still has a while to go, and I think the breadcrumb is ready to accept the other ingredients. So let's put down the diced onions. And then, since this is a very basic recipe, no extra secret ingredients, is just salt and white pepper. And that's it. And then we're gonna introduce the minced beef. Come. And last but not least, we crack an egg to help bind this mix together. And this can be quite a messy affair. And usually I tend to halfway in the process use my hands instead of anything else, so some wet tissues will come in handy. So let's try to incorporate everything to even smooth mix. Really break the mince apart. No lumps. Or places where all the breadcrumbs lie in a pocket. And in the beginning it looks like this is going to get too wet to do anything worthwhile in, but after a while kind of comes together. Something workable. I think we start to get there. Whoops. 3-second rule applies even in the woods. I said it before and I'll say it again. Got comments that they think 3 seconds is kind of short, and 5 or 10 seconds even should be more valid, but well, I'm used to the 3-second rule. And it's quite cold, so I'll warm up my hand before I start to work in earnest with this. Let's check the potatoes. I think I got a fucking drone above my head. Go away and don't come back. Oh, looks kind of good. I thought this was a no-fly zone. Well, there you see. So, let's start rolling. And you want kind of tiny, like this, balls. So, grab up with the spoon, and I use the spoon to help roll them. Something like that. There's a trick using 2 teaspoons, but I never mastered that. So, but I think in restaurants we are not supposed to touch the meatballs with your hands, so they are trained to do it with teaspoons to make them perfect. I think I got time to roll all of these before the potatoes are done. And if the potatoes by happenstance boil a little longer than necessary, no biggie, I'm going to mash them anyway. Well, starting to get dry here, so I'll say the potatoes are done. Put this on and grab some butter. Start heating up the pan. almost fit them all. Well, that's a tiny one. Well, as I said, the wet tissues comes in handy. Here's one. I think we got enough heat in the pan. Something like that. So let's flip in the rest, and just a few at a time. Don't crowd the pan, especially not an aluminium one, because it will drop in temperature pretty quick. So just a few. I think I can take one more. And since I got this hot spot in the middle, I will put them in a circle outside. And this tiny one is done, so I'll take a sample. Oh yes. And meanwhile, should I change the pot? Well, it's browned a bit in the bottom, but I think I can manage with that. And not too bad. So let's get some butter for the mash. It's cold. So I think I'll try another method. Move this around. Try to get them brown on all sides. With the good mash, you want milk, and this is my milk today. And I want salt, and the mash I want black pepper, and nutmeg. No real mash without nutmeg for me. Doesn't have to be much, but it's got to be there. How are we doing? Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I will leave them here for now. And all of them are browned. I will warm everyone up again last time. For now, some more butter. And then the next batch. I think I can do one more. And let's start with the mash. And as the name implies, you just mash the potatoes with the butter, and then you add some milk, the spices you prefer, until you get the consistency that you like. Smooth as silk, or with a couple of lumps in. And I can tell it's winter because it's hard to get the butter to actually melt. Splash. Not the prettiest match I've seen, but well. I think it will do. Well, I think it's mostly done. Put these back for a minute or so to get them all heated up. I think it's time to plate up. So let's get the mash. So, yeah, let's flip these down for the coffee. Waste not, want not. I'm not sure I can finish all of these, but I'm pretty hungry, so I'll start there and see if I can chug down the last ones. And last but not least, I mean, it's a Swedish dish, so of course there's going to be lingonberries. And this one is what we call the raw stirred. So it's basically just lingonberries and sugar that you mix. And then you're done. And I'm still a bit dirty. Lucky I brought more wet tissues. My grandmother always told me I had to wash my hands before dinner. Didn't make much sense back then, but now, as an adult, I can understand why. There we have it. Swedish meatballs, mashed potatoes and lingonberries. Bon appetit! Well, doesn't it look good? Well, at least I think so. So let's dig in. Some mash, some lingonberries, and a meatball. You can't go wrong with this. It's so good. If you never tried it, you're sorely missing out. So pause this video, go straight to the kitchen, make yourself an own serving of this one, and then come back. I'll see you later when the coffee's done. Whew, welcome back. It's kind of chilly off the hands today, especially when you get them wet from mixing the meatballs. So let's see if my new gloves do the trick. The old one I'm used to having there. They're pretty good, they keep warm, and they're somewhat waterproof, but they can't take any kind of heat from the camp kitchen, so I succeeded to melt the plastic in them in several places, so now there are some holes that make them less warm. So I tried these ones from Lars Felt, and this is a premiere for them, so let's see if they can live up to their reputation. Oh, but coffee is always a nice addition to the camp. Yes, meatballs. It's classic, and I suppose it's also one of those dishes that most countries have some varieties of albondigas or frikadelli or whatnot. But Swedish meatballs, they are very plain, very simple, and I think it's the mix with the mash and the lingonberries that make it magical. Because no special spices, just some white pepper and salt, the onion, and that's it. So, but still a childhood favorite of countless Swedes. If you find 1 in 10 children that don't like meatballs, I think that's taking a bit high. Oh. Well, thankfully today the weather cooperated with my day off work. That hasn't been something that I've been spoiled with for a long while now. When I work, it could be pretty good. When I'm off, it's absolutely miserable. And since the days are pretty short, I mean today the sun rose at 9 o'clock. You don't have much time with daylight to work with. So if I get off work at 4, well, the sun has probably been down for at least an hour. So, and I'm not much for making nighttime videos. Don't think I really got the equipment for it. It will be like watching Blair Witch Project or something, and I won't say that Blair Witch Project is bad, but it's not the thing I'm making. But today I can't complain of the weather. It's absolutely fabulous. Couldn't be much better. Well, it's a new year. 2025 has just arrived. It's the 2nd of January today. So I will take the opportunity to wish you all a very good 2025. A Happy New Year. For some of you 2024 was good, for some others it wasn't what you had wanted. But I hope that 2025 will be better than 24 in any case for all of you. I certainly hope that 2025 will be as good a year as it could possibly be. And I usually don't do New Year's resolutions or promises, is what it's called. Where you promises on New Year's Eve that this year I'm going to stop with all my bad habits and get a load of new ones. But I made one small thing, and I went back to a couple of videos and seen when every time I done a break for one reason or the other, I come back and I sound almost like a wife beater or an alcoholic. Well, next time will be better. And once it's okay, but I think 2 and 3 times it starts to sound a bit pathetic. I mean, life happens. If things don't work out the way I want them to, well, then there's no video that day. And sometimes I can control it, sometimes I can't. So stop acting like a sniveling little worm. I do videos when I can. I like to do them. I like to do them more often. But, you know, life happens. So that's about that. But I have some project for this summer and spring, because many of those projects needs a bit better weather and longer daylight than what's now. But I've got a few challenges that's been kind of stewing for a long time, and I really want to do them. And I see the battery is going out, so maybe I have to make the rest on the mobile. We'll see. And we've talked a bit loosely to break a co-op, another YouTuber and me, and see if that comes to fruition. And it's 2 schedules that had to match together, but we'll see. There's a possibilities, and I hope we can fix it, because it would be fun. But that's for another time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up to help out the video and keep the comments flowing. Favorite dishes from the childhood I've had, but do you have any national dishes where you live that are official or non-official that you really enjoy? And maybe that is a challenge there. And if you're not yet a subscriber, well, you could consider pressing that subscribe button and the bell so you get a notification when I'm out and about and doing more shenanigans in the woods. But until next time, take good care. Cheers.